What's good, family man? It is your boy Ma.
And Sade, and we're back at it again with another video.
Man, today, guys, we've heard the why King Von killed female shooter K.I. Man, y'all remember K.I.? K.I. Well, you do know K.I. was? Like the one they said he was in love with. They liked each other, but they wanted to kill each other.
Oh yeah.
But ever since he died, he got charged for her. Well, they said he didn't get charged for it because he's dead. But he got the police said like he was
in connection with the crime.
No, he was the reason he killed her.
Oh, okay.
Not I can't get the word out that I want to say. Not I don't know. I can't get it out, man. But y'all know
he
somebody
was convicted.
Not convicted. How can you be convicted? If he did.
Well, he was found guilty.
Yeah, he was found guilty of killing her ever since he died. But let's get into this, man. I don't know.
King Von is one of the most notorious shooters in Chirac history. But even killers have a sweet spot, and before the money and fame, Von had a crush in Chicago who was also one of his deadliest ops. K.I., a female shooter from the STL EBT set of the GDs. Now Chicago police have announced that Von was one of the main suspects in K.I.'s murder. Let's take a closer look at this wild relationship.
Well, let me take it back. Main suspects. Like you said, he was a suspect. I didn't know. You be on Instagram, man. Instagram be lying to you, bro.
King Von grew up in the Killer Ward area of Chicago, but later moved to the infamous O Block. His father, Ada Park Silk, was in and out of his life growing up because he was in and out of jail and was eventually killed when the rapper was just 11 years old. At 16, Von went to jail for the first time, and he would continue to be in and out of the system for the next 10 years until he was killed in late 2020. Von was a member of the BDs and repped the O Block set along with rappers like Chief Keef and Lil Durk. O Block gets its name after a respected member of the BDs named O.D. Perry was murdered back in 2011. O.D. was another casualty in the ongoing war between the BDs in Parkway Gardens and the GDs from around the area of 63rd and St. Lawrence, also known as STL EBT or Tukaville. The person rumored to be responsible for O.D.'s death was a girl by the name of Jakira Barnes, aka K.I. K.I. was a teenage girl who worked her way up to being one of the most feared gang members in all of Chicago. Early on, K.I. was just like any other normal girl. But growing up around so much death and violence in the South Side, as she got older, she quickly adapted to her environment. Her father was killed when she was just a year old, and growing up, she was always protective of those around her because of this early loss. When she was a teenager, she started hanging out with some GDs from the neighborhood, one of which was Tuka. For those that don't know, Shondell Gregory, aka Tuka, was a 15-year-old member of the Black Disciples that was also killed in 2011. Just like O.D. Perry, after Tuka died, the St. Lawrence area was renamed Tukaville in his memory. K.I. was good friends with Tuka, and his death is part of what pushed her to become a savage. Tuka was killed by members of the BDs in retaliation for the death of Edric Walker, who was allegedly killed by GD members. After he died, Tuka became a common target for rappers from O Block disrespecting their music, including famous artists like Chief Keef and King Von. Their constant dissing of Tuka intensified the beef between O Block and STL, and that's also part of what started the beef between K.I. and King Von. After Tuka died, K.I. started getting himself into the streets.
Why did he just show what's her name? He don't have anything to do with that.
Who?
Oh, what's his name? He be like Blicky, the Blicky, whatever his name from New York. Why are they showing him? He had nothing to do with that.
The beef between K.I. and King Von. After Tuka died, K.I. started getting sucked into the streets.
What's his name?
According to rumors, on Tuka's birthday, she went out riding around looking for ops with FBG Butter when they ran into O.D. Perry and shot him off his bike. O.D. was a member of the BD set, Wick City, which would later become O Block. At first, no one wanted to believe that it was a teenage girl who took out a high-ranking member of one of the wildest gangs in Chicago. But as K.I.'s reputation in the streets grew, they were forced to accept the truth, that K.I. was one of the most ruthless.
But if you think about it, you'll be like, bro, it's really possible because he probably wouldn't think like, oh, it's a girl, she ain't finna like, shoot me and nothing like that.
Yeah, and then if she in it, if she, I don't know. I mean, I guess like anger caused people to do some crazy things,
Yeah.
So she was angry about Tuka. So I mean, I wouldn't put it past her that she didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if she was in the street,
I won't put it past nobody in Chicago.
That's what I'm saying. So.
Killers in the history of Chirac. K.I. didn't just go after ops. She went after anyone who disrespected her, including other females. She also allegedly once shot at the female cousin of a respected member of O Block named T-Roy. The cousin ended up snitching on K.I., but she still beat the case. Plus, K.I. wasn't just putting in work on the streets. She was also known to brag about her activities on social media, tweeting things like, "Shout out OD for being target practice, LOL, #STL.
Whoa, I ain't gonna lie, we ain't never seen that one. We ain't never seen that one, bro. What the
began. Even though Von and K.I. were both technically ops, they had a mutual respect that bordered on flirting. In a documentary about K.I.'s life that aired on A&E, Von even later admitted that he had a crush on K.I. back in the day. But just because they respected each other as ops doesn't mean that they were cool. Despite their attraction to each other, they were still bitter rivals, and it was on sight if either one of them caught each other lacking. So they always had a strange relationship. They would be taunting and threatening to kill each other one minute, then start flirting the next. For example, Vaughn once tweeted, "Kyra be sounding sexy on the phone," on David. He also once tweeted at her and said, "Good afternoon, wifey." She responded, "LOL, #funny ass. What up, dude?" So even though they were enemies, it wasn't all smoke between them. But their conversations weren't always romantic. Once when K.I. tweeted something about OD's death, Vaughn reminded her about the incident where he allegedly beat her up on the train. In the tweets, Vaughn seemingly admits to catching K.I. by herself on the train and beating her up. So, just because Vaughn had a crush on her, doesn't mean he's gonna let her forget that they were ops and she killed one of his good friends. After that, Vaughn allegedly went to look for K.I. at a local corner store. Some of her friends blocked him from getting to the store, and Vaughn went to Twitter to air out the situation. And as time went on, their relationship got more threatening and less friendly.
So you mean to tell me that he actually went to go try to kill her, but her friends stopped him from...
Yeah, I guess.
When they was talking about, like, you know, he beat her, I was like, oh man, maybe they really want to try to kill each other. Maybe they was like some, we're gonna put on for like, not put on for like, or yeah, basically put on for, because it really before they even people knew who they really
was. It really was, yeah.
Basically, we're gonna put on for our games that we don't like each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
In 2012, K.I. tweeted, "You was a #goofy like 2 years ago, but my twin at FYB Butter beat your ass, but you drilling now, laugh my ass off, little #Davon." This obviously triggered Vaughn, and they got into a Twitter war after that. Around that time, Vaughn also started warring with another one of K.I.'s good friends, FBG Wooski. Wooski was another rapper/gang member who grew up in O-Block, but later moved to St. Lawrence after he allegedly killed another respected member of the BDs named Reezy. Years later, Wooski was accused of killing another member of O-Block named Platoon, who was close to King Von. So, Vaughn retaliated by killing a dude named Modell, who was Wooski's cousin. Wooski became one of O-Block's most hated ops, and he and Vaughn would develop a strong hatred for each other. Check out our video on FBG Wooski, the gravedigger of Chirac, for more info on this beef. After Modell was killed, Vaughn and Wooski got into a heated argument on Twitter, and K.I. ended up getting involved. During this argument, Vaughn admitted to having several bodies and told both Wooski and K.I. that he wasn't the one to play with. But before anything serious could happen, Vaughn would be arrested for the murder of Malcolm Stuckey and would spend the next 2 years locked up fighting the case. Vaughn allegedly killed a man named Malcolm Stuckey at a house party after he was giving him dirty looks. Vaughn left the party and recruited the help of a BD from O-Block named Big Mike, who happened to be Wooski's brother. He and Vaughn returned to the party and fired at Stuckey, who was hanging out on the front porch with friends. Stuckey would end up passing away, and 2 other people would be injured in the shooting. After being questioned by police, Big Mike snitched on Vaughn to get a lighter sentence. But at the last minute, he refused to testify in fear of retaliation by the BDs and ended up taking the fall for the whole thing. No other witnesses agreed to come forward and testify, and there wasn't much other evidence to convict Vaughn. So, he was allowed to walk, while Big Mike ended up being sentenced to 28 years. But even while Vaughn was locked up, he continued to think about K.I. While he was in jail, his sister tweeted at K.I. and said, "Bro said come see him, he miss you, no bullshit." Proving that even though he was potentially facing...
What? Hey, look, bro, this is stuff we ain't never seen, bro.
This is a weird relationship. I mean, like, you know, it's a difference in having, like, you know, like a little love-hate relationship. Like, you know, like, if me and you had a love-hate relationship, like, I really don't like you, but I kind of like... Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you getting guns involved and people getting shot.
Beating each other up.
Beating each other up. Like, that's on a different level. Like, that's, like... That's weird.
In life in prison, he still had a crush on his op. But his hatred for Wooski would only grow stronger after his brother almost put him behind bars for life. So, when Vaughn got back on the street, he was out for revenge on anyone who double-crossed him. Before going to jail, Vaughn was allegedly involved in another murder of a local drug dealer affiliated with the Jarrell City set named P5. It's rumored that Vaughn, along with other O-Block members such as J Money and T Roy, ambushed P5 when he was on his way to making a sale and shot him in the face and body over 15 times. K.I. was close to P5, and while Vaughn was locked up, K.I. would allegedly get revenge by killing J Money. Just a few months before J Money was murdered, he and K.I. would get into a heated Twitter battle where they both threatened to kill each other. So, even though Vaughn had a bit of a crush on K.I., she had now killed 2 of his close friends, OD and J Money. On the same day that Vaughn was released from jail, he responded to one of K.I.'s tweets saying, "What's up, ma? You don't miss him?" But once again, their relationship would quickly go from flirting to beefing, and K.I. would tweet, "How it feel to lose your homie while you behind them bars doing that time?" Vaughn responded by tweeting, "N Modell and rest in piss P Crack," reminding her that the score was even and that they had both taken out 2 of each other's close homies. After that, they got into a crazy Twitter fight.
Nah, somebody rest in piss is crazy. Nah, I'm for real. Telling somebody rest in peace is crazy.
Despite their past feelings, someone had to go. On April 11th, 2014, K.I. and FBG Butter were on their way to Wooski's house. Around 6:30 p.m., K.I. dropped her location on Twitter, which Vaughn and others saw. So Vaughn, along with Big A, T. Roy, and Boss Money, left O Block, where they quickly spotted Butta and K.I. This was the perfect opportunity to get revenge for both J Money and OD. So as soon as they saw the two of them, they started letting off shots. FBG Butta got away, but K.I. was hit several times and later died from her injuries. Although for years, it was rumored in the streets that Vaughn had killed K.I., the police never had enough evidence to prove it. But years later, documents from the Chicago PD were released to the public that indicated Vaughn was a major suspect in her death. According to the paperwork, Vaughn provided 2 different alibis for the day of the murder and agreed to take a polygraph test. But even though the alibis did not confirm Vaughn's exact whereabouts at the exact time of the shooting, and he never actually took a polygraph test after agreeing to, the DA refused to prosecute because of lack of evidence. So, someone leaked the documents to confirm one of the oldest Chicago street rumors, that Vaughn was involved in the death of his main op and crush, K.I. The story of K.I. and King Von could only happen in the city
how do this stuff be getting out from the police? Like, I be really be curious, like, how do people leak the information if it's with the police?
I guess hacking. I guess you gotta be a good.
I don't think they be hacking. I think the police just be telling folks.
Probably do.
Bro, yeah, bro, yeah.
They probably got somebody, money talks. So they probably be having. Some police officers be dirty cops. Yep. They be working undercover, or they be having somebody that's in the streets coming back telling them stuff, and then they going back and telling the person that's in the street stuff, to keep that person, money talk. So,
Chicago. They both clearly had a thing for each other, but their love wasn't enough to squash the bitter hatred between their two gangs. Who knows what could have happened if they put the past behind them and decided to settle down. But in the end, their relationship could never really happen because there was too much blood on both their hands for either one to let it go. If you thought this video was crazy, be sure to check out our channel for more. From Chicago drill lyrics that actually happened.
Bro, I don't know. They were, like you said, their relationship was sick. It was crazy and sick.
Yeah, that was.
Man, y'all let us know what y'all think about the video, man. Y'all let us know stuff that we don't know, because, some of y'all be doing a little bit more researching than us. Like, we just watch the video and we get the information from the video. Some of y'all actually go watch videos on top of videos on top of videos. Like, we don't do all that, though. But y'all let us know in the comment section what y'all think, bro. And, like, y'all tell us a story that y'all done heard before from, like, this situation. But other than that, man, y'all already know what to do, man. Please.
Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, subscribe to all 3 channels.
Man, follow me and Shawty both on Instagram. But other than that, man, we out of here.